Sunday morning. Good morning, everyone. Well, it is Sunday morning here. I know it's Saturday evening or afternoon, depending on where you are for some of you. And today is day 19. It's going quickly. So for those of you who are new and just joining us, for 19 days so far, we have been coming together every morning and tapping out our cortices. So cortices is a technique that's designed to help reboot the brain or help the communication and the circulation within the brain really improve and be able to do its job properly. When it does that properly, then it's able to help run the body properly. And that means that you just start to feel better. So, morning Lynn, how are you? This morning, because of what I've been doing every morning, is adding some type of a top tip or reference point for you so that you can come back to it, learn something more about the technique, a different way to tap it out, perhaps a different situation that you might find yourself in to use this technique, and then how you would implement that. So every morning something is different, the information's different. This morning we're just going to briefly touch on a part of the brain called the hippocampus. And I say briefly because we could talk about this for days and days, and good morning, and we still wouldn't get to know it better, very well at all. The way that I view different parts of the body is like family members, because they are such an integral part of you, and it is so easy. It's so easy to look at yourself and to just be remembered or reminded of what you are from an outside perspective, almost like a shell perspective. So one, we forget that we have all these internal structures like, a small intestine and a pancreas and liver and all that kind of thing, but then we're not taught about these other internal structures as we go along the way. And I think it's kind of a big deal that we're taught that in school and high schools, because it puts someone in better touch with their body. It puts someone in better synchronization with their body. The better you know the parts of you that work for you and so hard to keep you balanced and happy and alive, then the more intuitive you're going to be, the better you're able to be tapped into your innate wisdom and to be able to make choices and decisions that are actually right for you. So this is another reason why I love the 30 days of the Cortices technique that we're doing, because you're getting introduced to all these members of your family that are internal to you that you didn't even realize that were there. This morning it is the hippocampus, and this guy factors a lot in body talk sessions because it deals with memory, and it particularly takes short-term memory and converts it into long-term memory. It also remembers really distinct things like places and people's faces and names and stuff like that. So you can start to see how this part of the brain factors very heavily into some particular disease processes, right? This hippocampus helps us remember how to get places. So when someone says to me, I'm struggling with my memory, or I've noticed that my recall has been harder to find, to come back to me when I'm trying to remember things, sometimes the hippocampus will come up as a priority in their session. Sometimes it's not that at all, it's something else, right? But this is a very big factor when it comes to memory and being able to retain memory, okay? So with that in mind, with the hippocampus in mind, let's go ahead and tap out our cortices this morning. Again, as I've mentioned in other lives, if you're curious and you want to know what it looks like and where it positions into the brain, because it's quite deep and it comes down around a bit like a banana shape, has both sides, left and right hemisphere, then just do a quick Google search image and it brings up some sensational visual images for you, because that's how I learn. I'm visually inclined. Let's go ahead and tap out our cortices, and we're going to focus on this hippocampus. So nice big deep breaths in and out. Remember, we're tapping over all three brains. hand comes up, just one hand placement. Nice big deep breaths. Breath is always exaggerated in cortices. Third hand position. Fourth one. And usually more than not when I'm tapping out my cortices, I just close my eyes so I can visualize the communication repairing through all the regions of the brain. So I can visualize the circulation improving, so things like blood supply, nerve supply, lymphatic circulation. Okay, sides of the brain. Always 2 big cycles, so 2 big deep breaths. Take one hand away, go ahead, tap it in over the head brain, heart brain, gut brain. And of course, just keep in mind that if you have any comments, questions, feedback, observations especially, to pop them into the comments or send them to me. Okay? Beautiful. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your morning, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.